Hey folks, welcome to Thinking Theology. I'm Don. I take a philosophical look at theological arguments, whether they're anti-religion, pro-religion, pro-Christianity, whatever they may be, topics that relate to theology. I don't take a dogmatic stance. So some of the folks have left comments on there to the effect of, you Christians, this and that. I don't identify myself as a Christian. I don't identify myself as an atheist. I'm more of a philosopher. So today I'm looking at Christopher Hitchens. I've got a short here, and I'm not quite sure what it's entirely about, but he's always interesting. Let's put it that way. He speaks rather authoritatively about his beliefs, let's put it that way. And sometimes I agree with him, other times I don't. So let's see what he's got what this is about.
What is your view exactly?
Press away.
Do you affirm God does not exist, or do you simply withhold belief?
I think once I have said that I've never seen any persuasive evidence for the existence of something, and I've made real attempts to study the evidence presented and the arguments presented, that I will go as far as to say, have the nerve to say, that it does not therefore exist, except in the minds of its, except in the Henry Jamesian subjective sense that you say of it being so real to some people in their own minds that it counts as a force in the world. Yes.
Okay, so you do affirm then that God does not exist. Now, what I want to know, and do you have any justification for that?
Well, that cut off too, so that was a short. All right, so I'll just comment on what I saw there. One, to me, nobody can say God doesn't exist. Well, I mean, that's wrong. You can say that, obviously. I believe that's outside the scope of our ability to prove or disprove the existence of God or the presence of God. I think it works both ways. I think it's a fair statement to say, I believe God does not exist, or I believe God exists. It may be the God of the Hebrew Bible. It may be the God of the New Testament. It could be a spiritual presence, Buddhist type perspective. Could just be an energy, a higher power in the universe. However you want to say that there's something outside of what we can see. But so I was shocked that Hitchens went this far as to say that he would affirm that there is no God. Then he went on to say that because there are so many people that believe in God, you could see that presence in the world, but that does not mean that God exists. It just means that so many people do believe in a higher power. And I think that there's something to be said scientifically in a way to say, why is it that so many people believe in God? That doesn't prove God, it doesn't disprove God, but why is it that we humans, something like 85 or 90% of us worldwide, not that every human being's been polled, but there's been a large enough sample size of people all around the world in all different countries that roughly 85 to 90% of people believe that there's a higher power, whether we call that God or not. And that does leave its imprint on the world. The issue creeps up, and this is part of the way I was surprised that he would go as far as to say he affirms that there is no God, because that's outside the purview of human ability to say absolutely there's no God. Because even if you look at Sir Karl Popper's falsifiability, 5 prongs of his falsifiability theory, that this wouldn't constitute science, it would just constitute belief. But the gentleman's question I thought was an odd one, and maybe not. But when he said, so, like, what is your justification for believing there's no God? I don't think you need justification, but if he's saying, like, what is your rationale for it? Okay, fair enough. Justification is one step further than rationale. Like, how do you justify it? Maybe that's just another way of saying, what are your reasons for it? So fair enough. Hitchens didn't really answer it, but then again, we only had 42 seconds, and he was only speaking in roughly 35 seconds of those, so you can't get a full picture. But I was surprised that he said that, because other things that I've seen Hitchens say and argue in different places was more, just say middle of the road, or to me more rational to say, I don't believe in God, but I cannot disprove it. But he went so far as to say he affirms that there is no God. I don't know what his affirmation includes, but anyway, I'll be doing more of Hitchens stuff. I've got a Dawkins one coming up as well, just to see where they come down on it. So there you go, folks. I know you've got some Hitchens fans out there. You know, he's a bright man. He makes some salient points, and but other things, they don't seem to jibe with what I think is reasonable. But anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments. Subscribe if you haven't. That'd be wonderful. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video, and keep thinking theology.